Hello, welcome to my channel. This is my very first finished sketchbook ever. I thought I'd share a flip through on my journey from January last year to July this year. Oh, it's an unintentional blurb. It's a mixed match of swatches, brush exercises, gestures, plein air, master studies, tutorials, demos, paint-alongs, and whatnot. It's a bunch of things that I've just threw in here. Earlier today, my feed showed a short by Ali Abdal. He's a productivity expert. He was talking about taking imperfect action. And yes, this is quite the testament of imperfect action, and it's a lot better than perfect inaction. He didn't say that, but that's my takeaway. So yes, this is imperfect action, as well as all my other sketchbooks, as well as this video. You can see it's all wobbly, it's all warpy, it's all imperfect, it's all my practice, it's just whatever I threw in here. This is why I fell in love with sketchbooks. They are incredible, and I would like to share this with you. Let's take more imperfect action, and like they say, wabi sabi. Let's jump right in. As they say, use what you have. This is one of 7 sketchbooks that I handmade out of 2 larger ones made of Strathmore Sketch premium recycled paper. The spiral was over here. I used the original covers on the new smaller sketchbooks, but I ran out of material, so I bound the last 2 with different cardboard stock. The original sketchbooks were too big for the kind of practice and sketching I'm doing right now. And so I cut them and adapted them to my current needs. I've done a lot of swatching, a lot of practice in a smaller scale. A disclosure before I begin is that this is not my first sketchbook, but in fact it's number 11. But it is the first one I fully finish. I have quite a few almost finished. This is where my journey on this sketchbook starts. I normally label all my sketchbooks with their specs, because in 10 years, or even today, I wouldn't remember what paper they were. So, jumping right in, I started directly on the first page with pencil, what this paper is intended for. But right away, the very same day, I decided to do watercolor, to experiment and see how well it took it. And it did. I then followed with more plein air and more pencil value studies and line drawings, what this paper is intended for. This is a lovely view of Don Ivane from Pasaya. This was my very first sketch with Urban Sketchers. A quick gesture, a diagram. This is the first of many brush exercises. Different shapes, different brushes. I started doing these brush exercises by following lessons in YouTube videos and blogs. I have continued doing them, and I also have developed a few of my own. Here is a bleed through from the next page. I think I was changing colors from one palette to the other or something, and I have like leftovers, and I began doing this with a cutter. Really cool to do. But see, this is very fine paper, and really, to be fair, this is not for watercolor. It's incredible that it handles watercolor this well. I know it produces warping, and some people hate that, but I think it looks fun, and I actually love it. I think it gives it character. This is 60 pound. This is 89 GSM. This is definitely not for watercolor. So yeah, this is when I discovered, okay, I'm pushing this paper too far. But I also discovered that it handles regular amounts of watercolor quite decently. I use a couple other similar papers for my everyday sketchbooks. This kind of paper is great for sketching, practicing, dabbing, everything. It's quite opaque, and it's quite good for exercises, explorations, without the worry of incurring into too much expense. This is cheaper, but still good paper. I also like to practice from magazines and pamphlets. I like to practice with forms, compositions, tonal values that I find interesting. This was a workshop that I took with Ashley Hawks, and so here I practiced before I did the final piece. So this is great to practice all your colors and techniques and then apply them to your finished piece. More brush exercises. I started doing different things, lots of reps to build muscle memory. These are from Daniel Smith's website and just really fun exploring and experimentations of combinations of colors. Super, super fun, of Angela Barbie. She is awesome. This is actually the border that's France, and I'm painting from Spain. This is a master study of filmmaker Isabel Herguera. I did these from the exhibit's pamphlet. I attended a guided visit to see a retrospective of her work. It included many sketchbooks and loose studies, many of which she has used for her fantastic animations. I came up with this brush exercise. This is to get some real control of your brush. This came out really cool. This is wash, actually. Oh, super fun. This is plein air. It's people who walked by, and these are quick gesture drawings. They are 10-second ones, maybe 15. It's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're done. I really like this kind of exercise. So this is obviously swatching from one color to the other. And lots more in more sketchbooks. More YouTube demos and tutorials. I appreciate the wealth of knowledge out there. You learn so much from so many people with so many demos and tutorials to follow. Oh, I used an expired. Here's a lesson learned after the fact. I used what turned out to be expired masking fluid. This was at least 5 years old. The consistency already felt weird since I was applying it, and then it wouldn't come off afterwards. I've now learned it does not stay optimal forever. So this is stuck forever. I was trying to do this one again. It didn't come out at all like the presenter, and so I was trying to do it with masking fluid and it didn't work out. Yet another lesson on using what I have and to use it timely. This is another plein air with my Urban Sketchers group. This is a master study of one of Stella Canfield's works. She paints incredible. These are master studies from magazine images or photos with techniques or styles that I find interesting. More swatching and exploring combinations of colors. Triads in this instance, to see how different yellows, reds, and blues work with each other. More quick gestures, tutorials. Master studies, super famous Pablo Picasso. This is from Instagram, from a woman who bicycles and camps and takes incredible photography. This is a master study of a long exposure photo that shows the trails of stars. A very loose interpretation with my leftover palette colors. More YouTube tutorials, master studies from Mondrian and Pablo Picasso, tutorials, diagrams, Rufino Tamayo, more tutorials, brush exercises. This is a very interesting technique from Loel Kathmann in a Daniel Smith live session. It's a mix of watercolor with walnut ink, and then you place a scrunched plastic bag on top while it's still wet and leave it until it dries. I love the separation of colors and the textures it produces, and it's super fun to do. This is another plein air. Also, again, this is Spain, and that in the background is France with the Urban Sketchers. I love meeting up with them. More tutorials and swatching. Okay, this is actually funny because this is like a master study of a master study. This is following a master study that Vic Muniz did of Da Vinci's most famous work. I find high contrast images quite interesting, and I thought this was a great exercise. But after finishing it, I read the little print to write the specs for the credit, and it turns out that he did this with peanut butter and this with jelly. He dabbed it. It's actually food. In any case, it is a good exercise to learn values in high contrast. In this instance, two-tone posterization. This was fun to paint and also to find all the fun details behind it. Just when you think everything's been said and done with the Mona Lisa, we have peanut butter and jelly Mona Lisa. So there you go. This was on a Daniel Smith Thursday live session. Some exploring and experimentation with the colors that were featured that day. More experimentation here, where again, I pushed the paper too far with too much water, and it is quite visible in the next page. This is when I started doing pre-sketches of my sketches for the World Watercolor Month, just to more or less get an idea of what I was going to be sketching. There is that. That was the last of my sketchbook. And so it is fully finished. There was a lot of learning, a lot of experimenting, a lot of fun, and I just loved every minute of it. I cannot say enough good things about having sketchbooks. I'm already at sketchbook number 38, so I have a bunch of others that are not finished, but almost. So there you go. It will now be tucked nicely in the finished Hall of Fame. But before that, as I was putting my sketchbook away, I felt that its covers were beyond imperfect, and frankly, the poor thing deserved some love. And so I decided to do some doodling with ink, starting by camouflaging the stains it had with some concentric circles, and from there, I just doodled away. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will post more as I continue finishing them in this new series, Sketchbook Tours. I'll continue taking imperfect action, which is always better than perfect inaction. Until next time, sketch on!